Well, welcome back to my garage. It is super messy. I'm gonna do a cleaning video. I was actually just gonna clean. I wasn't even gonna make a video, but I've been meaning to do a video on this for forever. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Let me just take my stuff to the garage, take one of my other cameras that I have, and let's just record it real quick and get it done. So yeah, this is very rudimentary, but it's gonna get done. I am cleaning today. My Justins. These are my work boots. I bring them out all the time. I dirty them all the time. And so I figure it's time to give them a nice good cleaning. Now, if you've seen my review of these guys, they're actually lighter, a light brown. And I finally just decided, since I use these guys exclusively for work now, I think it's time to put the mink oil on them. So I put the mink oil on them. They're much darker now. And, but yeah, they can take a beating and they're just fine. So, and I've left these guys dirty for the last week or so, 2 weeks, something like that, just so that I can make a cleaning video today. So that's what I'm doing today. Now, I will suggest everything that I've learned on YouTube. And one of the guys that I'm going to be following here and the method I'm going to use is from a guy called Angelo Shoe Shine. And so what he does is he's a shoe shine channel. And so people sit down, he cleans their boots, he conditions them, and then he shines them up. Now, I'm not going to be doing any shining, but I am going to clean them and condition them. So let's get to that. So I'm just going to be using a microfiber cloth, and I'm just going to be wiping them off because they're like super dirty. It's just something real easy to see. You don't need any close-ups on this because, I mean, you could already see the difference there. So it's just wiping off the dust. And then the method I'm going to also be using, the soap I'm going to be using is the saddle soap. I often like saddle soap. Here's the other thing I'm going to show you right now. All right, dirt is pretty much off of these guys. And they're kind of good enough to go. You know, they're good enough to go, but I'm going to go through the whole thing of cleaning them for you. Saddle soap. You can get saddle soap from your local boot barn or wherever else you buy boots at your local Western store. If they sell boots, they're going to sell saddle soap. So that's how much I got in there. I'm actually about due for a new one. This is the dauber that you will find most folks selling on Amazon and wherever else you could buy it at. Boot barn, anywhere. You're going to find this. Now, this is cool. This is cool. But like I said, I follow that guy, Angelo, and he has a big boy. He has one like this. Just look at the difference. And so, yeah, this is going to make a big difference. You would take forever doing this, and I would. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need your spray bottle. So this way you could spray inside there. Spray the brush, and then you're going to spray in the lid. This thing is so thick when you lather it up. It's so thick that when you lather it up, it just becomes too much. So you put water inside that little tin right there on the side, and so now as you're lathering it up, you can even hear it. It's like turning creamy. All right, now I'll throw it in here with my water and then just circle that guy around. Now we're talking about nice, soapy, not too creamy, not too much. And now I have some place where I can come back and re-dip after I'm done and don't have to keep coming back to this. I'll lay that off to the side. All right, here we go. For me, I'm putting my hand in there. I didn't put my shoe trees in there. I'm telling you, I just walked out here and I'm like, let me just do this. Usually I have like plastic shoe trees that I can use for this, but I didn't bring them out. I'm just really moving fast. But I thought it was worth getting out. I heard a couple of people asking like, hey, it'd be great if you did like a boot care video. So I said, let's do it. And here I am. I also have a one for the welt. I actually got this from the kit that I purchased the other dauber with. And so you can actually get kits where you can purchase the dauber. I think it comes with 1 or 2 daubers, and then it comes with a brush kit like this, the little toothbrush. All of it's horsehair. I'm gonna use one of these. Gonna go ahead and wipe it off. I usually, and you could do this anywhere you want, really. I mean, there's a little bit of water mess, so I usually would do mine in the living room, and I would set a towel out on the floor, and that would actually serve as my cleaning spot. And the way that I do these things now, I have like all of my shoes and boots that need to be cleaned. I'll actually set a day aside where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. Instead of having to bring all my equipment out, I set a day where I'm gonna do all of my stuff. So I'm gonna be doing all of my shoes, all of my boots. They're all gonna get washed. They're all gonna get cleaned. Just kind of rub all that excess right onto the boot, and we get it going. I'm not gonna lie, I really love this huge dauber. It just makes the process go a whole lot quicker. So you'll notice that I'm not getting the shaft. I don't think I need it, quite frankly, because it's always covered by my jeans. My shafts never see the light of day, only when I'm putting them on and taking them off. That's it. So I just never bother with it. Now, some of my friends have actually told me when I first got into boots that all you really need to do is just use some saddle soap and you're good. You're done. You don't have to worry about anything else. You don't need to condition them. That's all a little bit too much hype. And the reason why they say that is partially true, because this saddle soap contains certain oils in it. And if you look at the back of it, it'll actually say it contains lanolin and neat's foot oil added for moisturizing. And this is why it gets all creamy like that as you're lathering it up, because it contains oils in it. So you're not washing it all away as if you would if you did soap. And like I talked about at the beginning, I have used soap and water, and then I just made sure to condition it afterwards to put that moisture and those oils right back in there. Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually cleaning off my brushes, because I'm putting them away. Don't just let them dry off. I like to clean all that, because again, we're not rinsing these things like through a shower or anything like that. So as we are washing them, it's coming off on the brush, it's coming off on the towel here. And so I want to make sure I rinse it, wipe it off, let it dry, get it set and ready for the next use. So the only step that's really left is conditioning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these guys dry for a little bit. I'm going to come back and I'm going to condition them. And I'm also going to put those plastic shoe trees in here, so I don't have to keep putting my hand in here. As you can see, they're well used, so they're real broken in. It's not a problem for these guys to bend. No problem at all. So on to the conditioning. This is very, very simple. I use Bic 4. You can also use this one that I got at Boot Barn as well. Same stuff. Now listen to this though. Creamy. Watery. It's not because Boot Barn makes watery stuff. This sounded like this when I first bought it. It's that I left this out in the heat. And well, when I had those Tony Lama boots, if you haven't seen my review about them, I actually talk about how I left them in the heat in the car during a heat wave. It was about 114 degrees all week. This also sat in the car, and so it just changed the viscosity of it. And now it's just it's water, but it still conditions and it still works. So usually I'll use this on these, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to use my Bic 4, because most people will have Bic 4. And just don't leave it in the heat and it'll stay this way. I just use my hand. I don't really bother with putting it directly on the boot. Sometimes I do. It really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to be using my hand, because just think of it as lotion. And there is plenty of actual conditioners called leather lotion. It's because that's exactly what it is. It's just lotion. It's a type of lotion that you put on your boots. It's there to moisturize it, and it's like supposed to be like a really greasy lotion too. The point is that it's being slathered on dead skin, and the idea is to keep it malleable. So I mean, it's dead, it's not alive, it's not going to come back to life. But the idea is to keep the leather malleable. You don't want it to crack. You don't want it to get micro cracks. You don't want it to get ugly. You want it to stay smooth, pliable. That's exactly what we're doing, working it in. Always gets in the crevices of my fingers when I do it with my fingers, with my hands, so I always try to show some love. Whatever excess I have, that I will work it into the shaft. Again, like I say, I'm not too worried about the shaft because it doesn't see the light of day. It doesn't see the sun, and the sun is what usually causes the most damage from the UV rays. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wipe off the excess onto your microfiber. And I'm just lightly now going to go over everything and just wipe it off, because I'm not trying to undo what I just did, but I just want to get the excess. Because if you leave too much on, the excess on, I've done that before, it creates like a waxy film because you just did too much. So I put just enough on, rub it all over. Then I come over here and I try to wipe off any excess because I don't want it to be waxy. That's the end. You can tell these things aren't too shiny because that's not what these type of boots are. If you watch my review, and I'll leave a card over here so you can check out the review, these were a lot lighter and they were just completely matte. They weren't shiny at all. Now they have a little sheen to them now, and the reason why they have a little sheen to them, that little shine, is because I used the mink oil, and mink oil is going to waterproof them, and it's also going to make them darker. If you stuck around for this long, let me tell you some of the other things that I have in here. Okay, I love to tinker with boots. Like I told you, I watched this Angelo shoe shine. I like watching his channel. I like watching cobblers' channels. I like watching everybody's channels because I learned so much about boots, how they're made, when they get torn apart, what's in them. And so I myself have become a tinkerer of boots. So I did that. That's not really tinkering, but messing around with all of these different, and I purchased all these different things that you could put on a boot just to kind of play with it and see where it goes, right? I got black shoe shine. There was a point where I was buying boots, go to the Goodwill, buy a pair of boots, make them look good, and then sell them. And that was fun for me. And then as well as I'll make a profit. This is your edge dressing. So when you have leather soled boots, you can put some edge dressing on it and change the color. You could dress it up and make it look clean again, make it look brand new, or you can completely change the color. And I actually did that with a pair of my boots that I'll show you in a minute. This is also your leather conditioner for your reptile exotic boots. So this is for snake skin. I also use it for my caiman. And those are mainly what I use it for. For ostrich, I just end up using the Big Four. This is for hats. Shoe dye or leather dye. This was actually my first edge dressing. I didn't realize what I had bought, and I felt like a fool after I did it. But this was an edge dressing from Angelus, but I didn't read it right. I was like, black, that's all I want was black. Now, if you read the whole thing, it says roll call, military grade edge dressing black. That is the highest gloss that you can get on edge dressing. I was like, I wanted a small bit of shine. I did not want all that. I got leather dye. I got sandpaper. Let me show you what this is for. All right, so last but not least, I wanted to talk about, some of the stuff that I've been tinkering with my leather sole boots. So here's my edge dressing, the brown. So here is some of the footage of the Alpha Western Wear Full Quill Ostrich that I did a review on. Fantastic boots, really like them. But one of you guys actually talked to me about, like, man, the bottom is a little bit too light for me when it comes to nice exotics, especially in a full quill ostrich. You usually want darker, and it goes a little bit nicer, a little more elegant. And I agreed. I was like, that is absolutely true. And so I was like, I think I want to do that. So that's what I did. Here's the result of my tinkering, and that is them. Just take a look. I think it came out pretty good too. As you could see, like, Let's see if this guy will nice focus. Now that was actually part of the leather and the way it looked already. But I will say this, you know, this is why I have the sandpaper. This is why I have the sandpaper, because that's part of the preparation for these guys now. But I was like, on the bottom, like, well, it's the bottoms. Let me see if it even matters if preparation is that important. So I did not sand the bottoms. And as you could see there, take a look at that. Oops. This portion right here, you could see the original color just poking through a bit. And even around the top. So I could have just left it alone, but that was my experimentation. So, you know, I've come to the conclusion that sanding is absolutely necessary. But after I sanded, you know, the top here, it came out really great. Both of them look this way. The darker color does look nice, and I like the way that looks. I've been toying with the idea of maybe even going a little bit darker, but right now, as it now stands, it looks fantastic. And I wear these out a lot. I really like these ostrich boots. And yeah, so that's it for this quick tutorial, I guess, of cleaning boots and condition them. These are ready to go to work, or they're also ready to go out on the town if I just got some errands that I want to go run, as I just stepped on my own boot. But yeah, all good. Anyway, that's it for this one, and I will see you guys on the next one.